Great to have you join us on the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On this week's episode, we'll be showing you an exhibition of Benin art, then a solo exhibition by a contemporary artist in Lagos. We have that and more in a moment. Join us again.
When I began going to school and learned to read, I encountered stories of other people and other lands. I usually make sure that my stories are from Africa to highlight the cultural background at the same time as telling the story.
We begin with this exhibition organized by the National Gallery of Art called Benin Art, Shapes, Shades and Shadows, which took place at a cultural center in Benin City.
The National Gallery of Art's tour of major art hubs continues after a successful show in the coal city, Enugu. It's off to Benin, the Edo State capital, for an exhibition of contemporary art at the Oba Kenzwa Cultural Center, which begins with an art talk, as some students learn a thing or two about what makes Benin thick when it comes to art and culture.
The influence of Western culture on African value, arts, and culture is greatly disturbing. Conscious efforts were made by the missionaries and the colonial masters to impose through transfer their cultural system to Africans. This affected Africans' ways of life. According to Wagojo in 1977, I quote,
To walk the talk, there's a performance by this Benin cultural troupe. The highlight of the event is the Shapes, Shades and Shadows, which features the works of art done by the contemporary generation of Benin hands, from paintings to sculpture.
Art is life, and our life is our culture, and our culture is our life. And art, especially sculpture, cannot be taken away from our culture, because each sculpture, each art piece represents something. Each art piece has a wide and long story behind it. For instance, if you look at the sculpture behind me now, they all have their own story to tell. But essentially, my area of research and focus has to do with women and the girl child.
We all know that Benin is very rich in art, right from before the colonialization and everything. There's been an established art culture in Benin, and gradually we feel like these things are passing, you know. And I think it's actually it's very good for the National Gallery of Art to put more effort, to put more light into the Benin art, so that, you know, we could, just like today, we had lectures before the opening of this exhibition, and some lights were thrown into the Benin culture, Benin history. These are the things we want to hear again, you know, things that we want to, that we inspire our work, that we give more vision into what we do. This particular exhibition is screened to, every artwork here has a story to tell about the Benin culture.
Benin, as you know, and you know, is rooted with culture. blessed with culture. As you've heard from the lecture that we just came out from, the culture of Benin cut across all the segment of Benin. And that is why we are here to showcase what they have done for people to view and appreciate.
Different things catch the artist's eye. Their inspiration comes from either the Benin culture, as in this case of this female artist who is fascinated by their costume.
Being around different cultures, different ethics and groups in Nigeria, I kind of have a particular and unique likeness for the Benin culture, especially their costume, their attire, what it represents, what it depicts, and all of that. Particularly about their brides, of course. In the cultural groups, you see the costumes looking very glorious and all of that. But the deeper representation is seen in the Benin bride. So over the years, I schooled in Benin, I'm staying in Benin, I see all of these things every day. And I felt like it would be nice to actually represent these things in Hoe and, to actually bring out the glory to more importantly, to talk about the significances of this costume and, the message they pass in general.
If you look at art from different perspectives, you will discover that it's speaking a language of hope, a language of understanding, a language of unity and love among all men of goodwill. That is what my art represents. But essentially speaking, if you look at the sculpture behind me, it's all talking about women, their plight, their glory, their virtue, their majesty, and what they represent in the society.
All the beauty and strength exhibited by the female gender. Each piece has a story, and this culture tells it.
If you look at the one just behind me with plantain, a bunch of plantain as the headgear, you will discover that it's talking about wealth, food, productivity in the society. And who are essentially behind this? I'm sorry to say, they are women. That's why they say behind every successful man, there is a woman. And in Benin proverb, they say, what that simply means is that if a man will live long, it essentially depends, apart from God, on the hand of the wife. So essentially, that's what my work is all about.
For the children in particular, they are here to learn from what the masters artists, because we believe what we have on display are product of master artists, Benin master artists. And the children are here to learn from the works of those masters. Eventually, some of them will grow to become artists and masters themselves.
From the feelers here, the level of interest in art is improving, and the next generation isn't shying away from the responsibility of keeping the flame alive.